Despite watching tons of videos on how to instill discipline or reading several productivity books, we all struggle with procrastination to an extent. Whether you have to work out, do some homework, or practice a skill, we end up delaying and delaying until eventually we run out of time to do what we needed to. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the 2-minute rule to once and for all stop your procrastination. And I know what you're thinking.
Dylan, you can't just stop procrastination in 2 minutes, like that'll never work.
It does work, and there's even been studies proving that too. So let's just get straight into it. To cure anything, you need to know the diagnosis and the causes of it. So what is procrastination? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, procrastination is the act of delaying something that must be done. It involves putting off important or necessary actions in favor of something less important or more pleasurable. Basically, procrastination is using instant gratification or easier and more pleasurable things in order to avoid the discomfort of long-term goals. Picture this scenario. You want to build a YouTube channel that reaches 1,000 subscribers in 6 months. In order to do this, you need to make videos, write scripts, edit, make thumbnails, and so on. But instead of doing these things, you check social media, you watch TV, play video games, you jerk your little Johnny. What? You put off all the important things you need to do up until your deadline of 6 months. Anything to avoid the difficult task of making videos. And that's procrastination. Doing literally anything to avoid the stress. And your causes being your fear of failure, your lack of motivation, and your bad time management. The 2-minute rule states that when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Just to clarify, the 2-minute rule doesn't stop at just habits. I use it anytime I feel stressed to do anything. Nearly any new habit can be scaled down into a 2-minute version. Running 5 miles becomes tying my running shoes. Read before bed each night becomes read 1 page. Writing an essay becomes writing 1 sentence. You see what I'm getting at here? The idea is to make your habit as easy as possible to start. Anyone can do this. And once you set the tone to start, it is so much easier to continue doing it. What you want is a gateway habit that naturally leads you down to a more productive path. You can figure out a gateway habit for you by mapping out your goals on a scale of 1 through 10. 1 being very easy, 10 being very difficult. For example, reading 1 book a week is a 10. Reading a book each month is a 6. Reading a chapter a week is a 3. And reading 1 page a day is a 1, which is very easy. Your goal might be to read a book each week, but your gateway habit is to read just 1 page a day. That's how you follow the 2-minute rule. But you might still believe that reading 1 page a day or simply tying your running shoes is stupid and pointless. But the point is not to do one thing. The point is to master your ability to show up, making it so repeated and so frequent that it becomes a norm for you, that it's so ingrained into your daily life. If you can't learn the basic skill of showing up, then you have very little hope of improving the finer details. Instead of trying to perfect a new habit straight away and miserably failing within the first week, do the gateway habit on a more consistent basis. You have to standardize before you can optimize. And as you master the art of showing up, the first 2 minutes will become a ritual at the beginning of a larger routine. By doing the same warm-up before every workout, you make it so much easier to get into a state of peak performance. By following the same gateway ritual, you make it easier to get into the hard work. You may not be able to automate the entire process, but you can automate the first 2 minutes, making the start mindless and the rest easier. The 2-minute rule may seem like you're just trying to trick your mind. I mean, you obviously know that the goal is to do more than just 2 minutes, so I guess it may seem like you're trying to fool yourself. Nobody actually aspires to read 1 page or do 1 push-up. So if this method seems forced, try this. Do it for 2 minutes and then stop. Go for a run, but you must stop after 2 minutes. Start meditating, but you have to stop after 2 minutes. Eventually you'll start to think, well, I'm showing up anyways. I might as well start doing it a little longer. We rarely think about it this way because everyone is consumed by the end goal. By reading a book each week, by getting 1,000 subs in 6 months, by doing 300 push-ups in 1 set. But 1 page is better than not reading. 1 push-up is better than no push-ups. 1 minute of running is better than none at all. It's far better to do less than you hoped than to do nothing at all. The more you ritualize the beginning of a process, the more likely that you can slip into a deep focus that is required to do great things. And this is where I add a little personal twist, so that I can get into a flow state more easily easily after the 2 minutes. Flow state meaning a mental state where you are experiencing deep concentration in your work. To get into a flow state more easily, I use a couple of strategies. First, I like to define my goal, to have a clear sense of what I'm trying to achieve. And this helps focus attention on where you want to focus. I also eliminate distractions. I take my phone and I put it in this drawer right here so that I don't see it and don't use it during when I'm working. Out of sight, out of mind. Then there's having a flow trigger. A flow trigger is something that helps you get into a flow state more easily. For me, I use study music or focus music, and that really helps me get into a deep focus. It's just an activity that helps you gain concentration. So just having an idea of what you want to accomplish and priming your environment for concentration will help you do what you need to do after the 2-minute method. And what's really important about this is that it will prevent you from falling back into that procrastination. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a process, and it will take you time and effort for you to defeat this monster. But with using the 2-minute method and developing a flow state, you can break free of procrastination's grip and unleash your full potential. Okay, thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. If you found this video to be helpful, please consider subscribing. And I wanted to quickly bring to your attention that I now have a private community. It's only a one-time $20, and it has much more value than anything on my YouTube. Plus, it involves people like you trying to improve, so you can gain great value from each other as well. And as always, I hope you guys have a focused, happy, and productive day.